Unlike 48% of other Americans who never follow through with their New Year's resolutions, then this next segment is for you.
Joining us with advice to help not only you, but us, and to become a happier, healthier, and unstoppable in 2015 is life coach and author of Get Unstuck, Be Unstoppable. Valorie Burton, welcome back to Arise 360.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Valorie, why is it so difficult for people to keep those New Year's resolutions?
Help us.
You know what? Most people come up with them at the last minute, and they actually don't have a plan of action. So, and the other thing that happens is that people will set too many resolutions, and there's actually something called goal fatigue, which simply means, you know, it takes time for us, and it takes a lot of energy for us to reach a goal. And when that energy gets depleted, we have to fill it back up in order to reach the next goal. So if we have too many goals, we're too spread thin, we run out of energy, and we give up.
Okay, so important. All right, so tell us about some of the advice you offer in your book that can help us.
You know what? Over the years, and I've been coaching for over 12 years, I have found that the biggest issue that comes up is that people get stuck. And getting stuck isn't falling one time or making one mistake. It is over and over you find yourself back at the same place. It might be financially, maybe it's in your relationships, it's with the losing weight, perhaps it's with work. I mean, so many people are doing work they actually don't like, but they're too afraid to step out. And I've been there. I've been there in each one of those areas. And so I thought it would be really wise to write something to help people understand what are the fears that tend to keep you stuck and how do you break free from them.
Now, you've written several life help books in the past, so what makes this one so different?
Well, first of all, it's specifically focused on getting unstuck. We tend to have, as I identified, 4 core fears. And so your core fear may be different from yours.
What are the 4?
Well, there are 4. There's fear of failure, which is the one we think of the most. You know, if we know we're not going to succeed, we don't go for it. But fear of success is another core fear. And that tends to come up because when you're successful, people expect more. You have more responsibility, and so it's just kind of that pressure. The people that don't like pressure tends to be fear of success. Then there's fear of disapproval. That is, what is everybody going to think? Are they going to say no? Am I going to be rejected? And then the other fear a lot of people can relate to is fear of losing control. So if you've been called a control freak, you're probably in that category.
Maybe a time or 2.
Yeah, you know, it's that fear of uncertainty. If I don't know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and who it's going to happen with, then I'll just stay right here in my comfort zone.
Okay, so how do we go about recognizing if we are stuck or not, and what's the first step to getting unstuck?
Well, first of all, if you find yourself repeatedly, it's a pattern. Being stuck is a pattern, and it is frustrating. You know, if you've been in the same relationship with different people over and over again and you can't figure it out, that's a sign. So I think it's really important that you do the very first thing in getting unstuck, which is to tell yourself the truth. And when I say that, I mean, what's the truth about what you really want in your life? A lot of people won't admit it because if they don't know how to get there, they'll just pretend. No, everything's fine. No, I like my job. No, this relationship's good.
It's easier.
Right.
That's right. And oftentimes we just ignore our own intuition. You know, you had that little inkling that was not the relationship to go into. You knew that, and yet you still moved forward. So it's not about beating yourself up, but if you tell yourself the truth about what you want.
Okay, I won't.
She's going in.
We'll do a coaching session.
I know, right? Afterwards.
Now, if someone is attempting to be happier, healthier, and unstoppable, but they keep messing up, or they've messed up, what should they do?
We all mess up. So one of the things in getting unstuck, and I write Get Unstuck, Be Unstoppable in really short chapters because the people who are stuck want an excuse to not move forward, right? So you need to just begin moving forward. And so it's really super important to say, what will make me happy? What is the stuff that I keep doing over and over and over again? And what would be the opposite? For example, a lot of people end up in their relationships. So they are, you know, getting this argument, you know, it's the holidays, I find myself, you know, having my buttons pushed. Sometimes you need to deactivate some buttons. The same reaction that you've had over and over again, just make a decision. I'm not engaging in that argument. I have found oftentimes when we deactivate buttons, people try to push them, they don't get the reaction, they move on. It really is your choice about how you respond to the things that are going on in your life.
Yeah, that brings up a good question for me because I think of all the times when people get in these situations and how powerful words, emotions, and relationships are when they're trying to get unstuck. How does that play a factor in this?
So one of the chapters is called Rewrite Your Script. Simply meaning, you know, you're going into a new year, maybe there are parts of your life that are just right, but there are other parts where you're like, gosh, I wish things were different. Rewrite your script. What is your vision? Where are you wanting to go? Write it down. Even if you don't revisit it, you'll find if you take the time to write down what you want, oftentimes you begin moving towards it, even if you haven't revisited that. And then the other thing is rewrite the script about what you're saying about your life. If there are parts of your life that have gone awry and you find yourself telling the sob story, rewrite it, tell it in a more empowering way so that you're not the victim. Instead, you're the survivor and you're moving forward and you're not facing backwards anymore and you're saying, you know what, here's my vision. And in 2015, I'm headed towards it.
What's your biggest resolution for 2015?
Oh, gosh, that's a very good question. My biggest resolution, I had such an incredible year this year. I got married last December.
Congratulations.
I became a bonus mom, which is our term for stepmom. So many great things have happened in my business. Mine is just staying focused, staying happy. And I know that sounds simple, but it takes a lot of work because it's easy to go towards the negative and refocus. What do you have to be grateful for?
That means you had a great year. That's the ideal answer every year.
If you do lose focus, all you have to do is pick up this great book that a friend of mine wrote. It's called Get Unstuck, Be Unstoppable by Valorie Burton. Thank you so much for being here with those great advice, too.
I'm ready now.
I'm ready. I'm unstoppable. Okay.
You guys ready?
We'll be right back with more Rise Entertainment 360.